Hey, everybody. So, just a reminder that biodiversity means you have a wide variety of different types of living organisms, and it is the key to the preservation of a healthy world. So, the more species available in an ecosystem, the more food availability, the more producers or organisms that make their own food, like plants, the more food and oxygen available, more genetic diversity, the more chances for adaptations and survival. So, if organisms have a lot of different types of characteristics, even within the same population, they have a wider chance of survival. And then more ecosystems equals more adaptability, equals more habitats, which causes more species. And all these factors contribute to a healthy ecosystem. A sustainable ecosystem is a system that maintains balance. So, food chains, food webs, there has to be balance there. If there's an increase in a certain population of coyote, then there will be less deer, and it'll create an imbalance within the ecosystem. In other words, it's not sustainable. Sometimes the environment changes, and sometimes those are short term environmental changes, and sometimes they are long term environmental changes. So, when a short term environmental change happens, it's going to affect organisms immediately because those changes are quick, like floods, volcanoes, eruptions, those kinds of things. Long term environmental changes, though, occur slowly over time and affect organisms over generations. So, an issue like climate change, that is a long, slow, drawn out process. And hopefully, organisms will have the traits to adapt slowly over time to those changes. So, the main idea to keep in mind, short and long term changes both can lead to genetic or trait changes. So, in the future populations, the traits that are more successful in an ecosystem is the population that survives and reproduces at higher rates. Any decrease or increase in population is caused by environmental changes, and sometimes extinction will occur during an environmental change because the organisms do not have traits that will make them successful. So they will not be able to adapt and pass on successful traits to future generations. This topic is about environmental change and how it affects populations.